Hey, what's good, everybody? Mr. Roke here. I know it's been a little bit since my last upload. My last upload was like a month ago, and I was talking about Spider-Man 2. And I'm still cooking the Sonic Frontiers review. It's taken me actually a really long time. Not only because the video is a lot longer than I anticipated it was gonna be. Like the script is like 70 pages long, which is like insane to me. But like that video is way longer than I thought it was gonna be. And it's taken a really long time to edit. So just bear with me. It's slowly coming together. I've also just been like really busy, just in like my personal life lately. So it is slowly coming together. There is a slowly process being done with it. I don't even want to set like a firm like release date for it, because like then I'll feel like I'll be putting expectations that I can't even meet. But that's just a quick update for now. But anyways, apart from that, we're gonna look at the Game Awards here. All the nominees. I know these came out like a few weeks ago, but I haven't really voted for anything. I voted for like a couple categories, but I haven't really like gone through the whole thing and like, okay, this is my vote, this is my vote, this is my vote. So that's just what I kind of wanted to do today, kind of like to get back, because I want to upload more often. I want to upload like at least twice a week. So just to get like back into like the groove of things, this will be my first upload of the week, and then I'll have a second one coming out later in the week. But we're just gonna go through all the nominees here. We're gonna pick, we're gonna vote, and let's just get to it. Okay, so first category we got is Best Esports Event, recognizing an event across single or multiple days that delivered a best-of-class experience for participants and the broadcast audience. And our nominees are League of Legends World Championship, Blast TV Paris Major, EVO 2023, the International Dota 2 Championships, and Valorant Champions. Now, I'm not really like into the esports field. I don't really know a lot about esports, nor do I really dive into it that much. The only esports event that I've even like heard of in this list is EVO 2023. That's the only one that I've heard of in this list. So my vote's just gonna go to EVO just because of that. Not necessarily because like I think it's a better event or anything, but literally only because it's like the only event I've heard of out of these 5. So I'm just going to choose EVO just based off of like familiarity with the event. Then we got Best Esports Coach. The Esports Coach judged to be the most outstanding for performance and conduct in 2023. Now, again, I'm not really in the esports field, so I haven't heard of any of these people. I'm probably not even going to vote for this, just because like I literally have, like, I don't even know any of these people. I don't know the esports field. I don't play any of these games other than like Overwatch that's on this list under Jordan. But I'm not even gonna vote because it feels like my vote would just be like a blind vote, and I don't want to do that. So we're just gonna skip this category for now. Best esports team. Again, I don't know much about esports, so I'm not even gonna vote here. Best esports athlete. Again, I don't know any of these people. I'm not familiar with any of these people. Any of these, I just don't know. It's like it's not like I just don't watch esports. So like I don't know esports coach, esports teams, esports events. Best esports game. So I know I don't watch esports, but esports games could I could vote on this. Oh, actually no, I can't, because I don't play any of these fucking games. For the game that has delivered the best overall esports experience to players, inclusive of tournaments, community support, and content updates, irrespective of genre or platform. Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, PUBG Mobile, and Valorant. I mean, I really have no clue. I don't play any of these games. I mean, if I had to like predict which one is gonna win, right? Because I want to vote, but I also want to predict like which one I think is gonna win. If I had to like predict, I'm probably gonna say Valorant, because it's probably gonna be Valorant or League of Legends, but I'm gonna go with Valorant. Only reason why I think it's gonna win is because like every time I go on Twitch, like it always has over 100k viewers. It's super popular with PC players. I wonder if it's ever gonna come to console. I feel like it's too late to do that, but you never know. But yeah, my prediction is Valorant for this category. All right, content creator of the year, for a streamer or content creator who has made an important and positive impact on the community in 2023. And then our nominees are Iron Mouse, People Make Games, Quackity, Spreen, and Cypher PK. So I don't know anything about Iron Mouse. I've never seen them. Same thing with Spreen. I've seen People Make Games, and I'm very familiar with Cypher PK. And I used to watch Quackity in like 2020. I don't really watch him that much anymore. I don't really know what he's up to. He has like his own like Minecraft server now or something. But I think if I had to, because my vote personally is gonna go to Cypher PK, because like if I had to choose my favorite content creator, like if I had to like choose which content creator to watch. Like let's say like these were the only 5 content creators ever, and like I had to pick one content creator that I can only watch for the rest of my life, I would pick Cypher PK. I'm very familiar with Cypher PK. I'm not really that familiar with anyone else here other than Quacky, and even Quackity I haven't even watched in like years. Whereas Cypher PK, I'm not really that big of a fan, but like every now and again I'll tune into like maybe like a stream, or like maybe I'll watch a video of his. I think he's cool. So my vote here is gonna go to Cypher PK. However, when it comes to who's gonna win, I don't know anything about Spreen or Iron Mouse. I don't think people make games like I would say Quackity has a good chance at winning. I honestly feel like it could go like any side. Like, I feel like everyone here has a decent chance at winning. The thing about this award, though, and, like, deciding which one should win, like, which content creator should win, like, the thing about that is that, like, entertainment is, like, very subjective, right? And, like, some people are gonna like this, and some people aren't going to like this, and vice versa. Some people are going to like that, while some people don't like this. So, like, you know, some people are probably really love Cypher PK, but don't really like Iron Mouse's content, and vice versa. Some people probably really love Iron Mouse's content, but they don't really like Cypher PK's content. So like entertainment, it's very hard to choose like which one was the best one, because entertainment is like, it's very subjective. Like, some people are gonna find like one content creator probably like super entertaining, and the other content creator like not entertaining at all. So I don't know, like, I feel like it's hard. I'm personally gonna go with Cypher PK. That's my vote. But as far as who's gonna win, I really don't know. I feel like it could go any way. But if I had to predict, like, if I had to just predict one, I guess I'll just go with Quackity. But my vote goes to Cypher PK. Most anticipated game, we got Final Fantasy Rebirth, Hades 2, Like a Dragon, Star Wars Outlaws, and Tekken 8. Most anticipated game, huh? So I honestly think we could rule out Star Wars, just because, like, I don't really think there's like a lot of hype around just Star Wars in general. Like, Star Wars does have some good games. Like, I know Jedi Survivor is pretty good. I know Fallen Order is pretty good. But I don't know. Like, I feel like compared to like games like Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Hades 2, Tekken 8, like, I feel like it's just not up there like with anticipation as far as like levels of hype for the game. Like, I really don't see anyone hyping up Star Wars Outlaws. Well, like, I see people hyping up Final Fantasy 7, Hades 2, Tekken 8, Like a Dragon, but like Star Wars Outlaws really like the only game on this list where I'm like, I don't see any fucking hype for this game. So I'm immediately gonna rule out Star Wars Outlaws. So with that, we got 4 other games. We got Final Fantasy 7, Hades 2, Like a Dragon, and Tekken 8. Now, I think I'm gonna rule out Like a Dragon, because while I do see hype for the game, like, once again, right, like, I'm just like, really, like, this vote just goes off of like popularity, like which game is like most popular among like the general gaming audience. And I feel like if we're just taking that into account, I feel like the 2 like biggest contenders here, like the 2 most competitive games, are Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth and Hades 2. I feel like these are the 2 like probably most anticipated games that most players are looking forward towards. Now, with that being said, I'm personally looking forward towards Final Fantasy way more than I'm looking forward towards Hades 2. I'm excited for both. I'm gonna play both, but I'm way more excited for Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth than I am for, you know, Hades 2. Just because, like, I don't know, like, I feel like Hades 2 like has hype, but I feel like Final Fantasy, like, I feel like Final Fantasy is such a big name, you know, that like it's like Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, right? Like, when that was nominated for most anticipated game last year, it's like Zelda is such a big name that alone, like, the name alone will win it most anticipated game. And I feel like the same logic is gonna go here. Like, I feel like just like the name Final Fantasy, just like the name alone is gonna just win, regardless of like like, obviously the game is like really popular, really anticipated, but I feel like Final Fantasy alone, like that name alone, like we have a Final Fantasy game coming next year. I feel like that by itself like makes it the most anticipated game on this list. Like, again, super excited for Hades 2. I'm gonna play that game day 1, but I feel like Final Fantasy is gonna, like, it's my vote, and I also feel like it's gonna win. So my vote goes to Final Fantasy. I also feel like it's going to win this category too. I have a strong feeling that it is. Alright, best adaptation. Recognize an outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium. And our nominees are Castlevania Nocturne, Gran Turismo, The Last of Us, Super Mario Bros, and Twisted Metal. Now, I think right off the bat we can rule out Twisted Metal. I really did not see anyone talk about this show. I heard this show is bad. I really feel like the only reason why Twisted Metal is here is because there were no other video game adaptations this year to put here. And they just had to put that. Although, like, Sonic Prime was coming out this year. They could have put Sonic Prime here. I feel like Sonic Prime got kind of robbed. I feel like Sonic Prime should have been here. But anyway, we could just rule Twisted Metal out immediately. Now, with that being said, I heard Castlevania's good. I mean, Castlevania is the anime that, like, you remember when, like, Netflix had, like, that whole, like, presentation? They had, like, that Netflix Direct, and I was, like, we were waiting for, like, Sonic Prime, the Sonic Prime and Scott Pilgrim trailer, and then they showed us, like, 3 episodes of this fucking anime, bro. This fucking depressing ass sad ass like anime. Like it's like, bro, they showed us 3 episodes, and like all 3 episodes like ended bad, and like bad things happen. Like nothing good happens in that show, legitimately. But anyway, I did hear it's all right, but like I don't know, like I don't really see any, like I honestly think, right, the 2 most competitive here is Last of Us and Mario Bros. Like those were just like the 2 like really big, most talked about, most successful adaptations this year. Like these were the 2 adaptations that like left the video game audience and, you know, became loved by just general audiences, because, you know, obviously before these 2 adaptations, like the only people who would know who, or at least would like the Last of Us franchise and would like the Mario franchise, are gamers. And I think after these 2, like, this doesn't really apply to Mario as much, but like The Last of Us, like really the only people who like Last of Us is like already like authentic gamers, right? And not like when The Last of Us like went to hit HBO, right, and like was adapted to like a TV show, I feel like the popularity of the series like absolutely like exploded, like absolutely through the roof. Like now, like general audiences know what The Last of Us is. Like they just know the franchise. They love the show. The show probably got like a lot of people into the games. So I don't know, like I feel like Last of Us and Mario Bros are definitely the 2 like most competitive. Last of Us because the way it like transpired with like general audiences, and then Mario Bros with just how like successful it was, because Mario Bros made like $1 billion. It's like the most successful animated movie of all time. It's absolutely nuts. Now I feel like there's 2 ways you could like look at this and like choose what the winner is here, because one way to look at it is like which adaptation was like just better in general, just like better in like quality, better in storytelling, better in just like which one was just like the better like entertainment piece. I feel like if you're going off of that perspective, it's gotta be Last of Us, because like Last of Us was like so good. Like I love genuinely like I love how like they did The Last of Us in the TV show form. Like they still like were very authentic to the source material. Like they still stuck very close to the source material, but like they changed it up. Like they changed the plot of the show, and they changed some like small little details in a way that like made it like seem fresh, like made it feel like new. Like we're not just like, they didn't just copy and paste it from the games and just make it live action like a TV show, you know? Like they did take a lot from the games. Like it is heavily based off the games, but there are some like things here and there that they changed up that like I really love, like that aspect, like the fact that they stuck to the source material but still were able to like make it their own identity. Like this, like the Last of Us HBO show is still its own identity because it kind of changes like the plot like a little bit. Like they don't change any major plot points, but like small little details here and there they did change up, which I really enjoyed. So I think like as far as quality goes, I feel like The Last of Us wins here. But if you want to go by which one was more successful, just like which one that made more money, which one was just more popular in general, I feel like that's the Mario movie, because the Mario movie made $1 billion. That's like, it was being talked about, like it was super hyped. It was being talked about like a shit ton during its release. Like it was like the popularity and success that the Mario Bros movie had is just like incomprehensible. Like it's crazy how successful this movie was. And like the thing about it is like the actual movie, like it's okay, like, you know, like it's not a bad movie by any means, but it's not like a fantastic, like, oh my god, this movie is insane either, you know? Like it's not like I feel like it doesn't have like the same quality as The Last of Us has, because I feel like anyone could watch The Last of Us and enjoy that show, whereas with the Mario movie, it's like I could see some people not liking the Mario movie. Like you're gonna love the Mario movie probably if you're like a Mario fan, like if you're a big Mario fan, but if you're just like an average movie goer, like it's like the movie, you're either gonna probably think the movie was just okay or that it was bad. Whereas with The Last of Us, it doesn't matter if you're already familiar with the franchise or not. Like I feel like you're still gonna enjoy that series no matter what, just because like this, like it's so, like there's so much quality to it. It's so good. The Last of Us show is so good. So I feel like there's two ways to go about this. We can either pick the best adaptation as far as quality, as far as just like which one was better, or we could just pick which one was more successful when it came to how much money it made, my bad, and then like just in general which one was more popular. Now personally, I want Last of Us to win because I fucking love the Last of Us show. But if I don't know. I mean, I'm very torn. I really feel like it can go either way. I really do feel like it can go either way. But I'm kind of leaning towards Mario movie. Like I feel like Mario movie is gonna win. My vote is Last of Us. I want Last of Us to win. But if I had to predict, I feel like the edge goes to Mario movie. Like, I feel like it, because I feel like if Mario movie doesn't win, like I don't know, like it feels wrong for Mario not to win. But I want Last of Us to win. Like, it's so close between Last of Us and Mario movie. Fuck, dude. My vote is Last of Us. Like, that's set in stone. My vote is Last of Us. But man, damn. I think if I had to predict, Mario movie is gonna win this category. Mario movie is gonna win this category. But I do really want Last of Us to win, and I genuinely do think, like, I think it could go either way. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, if Last of Us won, even though I think Mario's gonna win. I want Last of Us, like, you guys get what I mean. We're voting Last of Us, we're moving on. Alright, now we got Best Multiplayer Game. For outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform. And our nominees are Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, and Mario Wonder. Now, I've only played one game on this list, and that's Mario Wonder. I honestly think the Mario, I like the Mario Wonder multiplayer. I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to, because originally when they showcased the Mario Wonder like online multiplayer in the Mario Wonder Direct, I was like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like this or not. I was like my initial reaction was like, I was literally like, I can't really like it or dislike it until I actually try it. And then I've played the game. I played it like 2 weeks ago, I think, at this point, maybe like 1 week, I don't know. But I mean, I really like the multiplayer on Mario Wonder. I genuinely feel like they did a great job. Like, they did a great job at like integrating other players enough to the point where like it still feels like you're playing with them, but like they don't get in the way, you know, because like the other players are like shadows, right? So like you can't collide with them, you can't directly interact with them, but you could slightly like interact with their game, alter their game in a way that's like, you could put standees down so that if they die, they revive your standee. If like, let's say a player like next to you gets hit, you can give them like a fire flower. It gives that sense of like community within the game. And it's just like, I love the Mario Wonder multiplayer. It's so charming. It's like the community in it. It's like really cool. I don't know. I really like the multiplayer. Now, I can't really speak on any of these other games because I haven't played any of these other games. Now, if I had to vote, I feel like when it comes to voting, I have to vote a game that, you know, I've played. So I'm gonna vote Mario Wonder, but if I had to predict which one's gonna win, I'm gonna say Street Fighter. Because I feel like I've heard a lot of people say the Street Fighter multiplayer is really good. A lot of features, a lot of modes. Again, I haven't played Street Fighter myself, so like I wouldn't really know this. But if I had to predict, it's probably either Baldur's Gate 3 or Street Fighter 6. But we can only choose one, so I'm gonna choose Street Fighter 6. So my prediction is Street Fighter 6. And my vote goes to Mario Wonder on this. Alright, next category is Best Sports/Racing Game. For the best traditional and non-traditional sports and racing game. And our nominees are EA Sports FIFA or FC24, F1 23, Forza Motorsports, Hot Wheels Unleashed, and The Crew Motorfest. Now, I haven't played any of these games. I'm not a big fan of sports games. They're not for me. Last time I played a sports game was like FIFA 23. And that's saying I played it is a bit of a stretch, but I mean, I guess I'm gonna vote FIFA just because I do like the FIFA games. I think they're fun every once in a while. I do like playing FIFA. I'm not really familiar with any of these other games here, so I feel like the only thing I could vote for is FIFA. But if I had to like predict, I don't know. I feel like FIFA's just not talked about enough to win here. I'm gonna pick Forza Motorsport as my prediction, but my vote goes to FIFA. Next, we got Best Slim/Strategy. Best game focused on real-time or turn-based simulation or strategy gameplay, irrespective of platform. With our nominees being Advance Wars, City Skylines, Company of Heroes 3, Fire Emblem Engage, and Pikmin 4. Haven't played any of these games. I have not played any of these games, so I really have no say. I really have nothing to say. Like, I don't really care which one wins. If I had to predict which one's gonna win, I'm gonna say Pikmin 4, just because that game was super popular. It got like a 94 on Metacritic or something. So if I had to predict which one's gonna win, I think Pikmin 4 is gonna win, and I honestly think that's where my vote's gonna go, because I technically played the Pikmin 4 demo and I enjoyed it. It was alright, but I think as far as just like which game, right? Like which game was just like most popular, which game was more favored by fans, I think Pikmin is taking this one home. My prediction goes to Pikmin 4, and my vote also goes there as well. Best Family. For the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform, we have Disney Illusion Island, Party Animals, Pikmin 4, Sonic Superstars, and Mario Wonder. So I think we can automatically rule out Disney Illusion Island, just because I feel like that game didn't really, I don't know, I feel like that game didn't really take off, you know, like it didn't really, it wasn't really like that popular. Like I feel like the game, like it got announced at like a Nintendo Direct, and I feel like it released like under the radar. Like I feel like this game was under nobody's radar. I'm sure people played it, and I'm sure it's a fine game, but I feel like as far as popular, like I feel like the other 4 nominees are like way more popular among like fans and way more favorable among fans than Disney Illusion Island. So sorry, Disney Illusion Island, you're being ruled out. I think I'm gonna rule out Sonic Superstars, honestly, just like, as much as I love Sonic and Sonic Superstars. Actually, I shouldn't say I love Sonic Superstars, that's kind of a stretch, but I don't really like, the thing about like Sonic games is like, if you're not playing with other people who like Sonic and are familiar with Sonic, you're not gonna have a good time with like co-op Sonic, because Sonic's gameplay is like so fast paced. If you guys, like, if you and whoever you're playing with aren't like completely synchronized with each other, like you guys have to stay on screen like the whole time, right? And like this camera will only zoom out for so long. Like you guys have to stay in the same frame the whole time. And when it comes to a game like Sonic, where it's like it heavily incentivizes like fast movement, fast gameplay, it's hard for everyone to keep track of each other and stay in the same frame when there's just gameplay that just like sends you flying. Like you have like springs and rails and whatnot that like send you like across the level, and like I don't know, like playing with another person, like I said, if you're playing with like another Sonic fan that's familiar with Sonic, it might not be that bad. But if you're like, let's say like you have like 4 like people together and they're all like varying in like skill levels when it comes to Sonic games, it's gonna like it's gonna be rough. Like that's all I'm gonna say. Like it's gonna be a rough time trying to enjoy Sonic Superstars, because like one person is going to be lacking behind, while one person is going too fast, while one person is trying to get this one medal but can't reach it, while this one person is trying to ignore the medal. It's just like, if you aren't completely synchronized, like I'm telling, like everyone's like mind is telepathically communicating with each other, synchronized in like one like hive mind. I don't fucking know. Like you're not gonna enjoy Sonic Superstars co-op. I think solo Sonic Superstars is good. It's a good experience, but and I haven't even played co-op Sonic Superstars, but I don't know. Like I feel like as far as like family, like which game like will be appropriate for most families, I feel like Mario Wonder and Pikmin 4 are more appropriate than Sonic Superstars. With that being said though, we have Party Animals, and I heard Party Animals is a good game, but as far as like a family game, I wouldn't necessarily say it's like a family game, you know, because like Party Animals is more like a multiplayer mayhem game that like you just fuck around with your friends in, more than it is like a game that you get on the couch with your mom and your pops and like and your brother, and like you guys have a good time all playing Party Animals. Because not only is Party Animals like only 2-player, I'm pretty sure it's only like a couch co-op 2-player, and like unless your family consists of one other person, then like there's not even gonna be enough players for like the entire family. But I just like Party Animals is more like a multiplayer game that's like suitable for like just like friends trying to fuck around, more than it is like a family trying to have a good time. So I feel like we could rule out Party Animals. And then with that being said, we have Pikmin 4 and Mario Wonder, and I think Mario Wonder just takes this one home. Just because I feel like not only is because with Pikmin 4, right? Pikmin 4 goes up to 2 players, and like it's one of those games where it's like technically 2-player, but one person has like their lead role and the other person is like kind of like the side person, right? So it's not like both players have like equal amounts of like interactivity within the game. It's like one person is like the main lead role, player 1, and then player 2 is like kind of like that side thing, you know, like it's like that side player that doesn't really get to interact with the game that much, and it's like they're more of like the first player sidekick, and no one wants to be someone else's sidekick. Whereas with Mario Wonder, not only can 4 people get on that game, but every player has like can interact with the game equally. Like, so it's not like player 1 is like the main like player, and then all the other players are like inferior to player 1 and don't have as much interactivity within the game as player 1. Like obviously player 1 can like select where they want to go, what level they want to go into, but other than that, like when it comes to the actual gameplay, every character, or not every character, every player has like the same interactivity, the same they have like the same opportunities in the actual game than like in Pikmin, where it's like, okay, one player like gets to do like most of the stuff in the main game, like gets to like actually do like main shit, while the other player 2 is kind of like their sidekick. It's like a Mario Galaxy, where it's like technically it's 2-player, but the first player controls Mario and the second player controls like the little star icon. Like it's like the star icon is like Mario's sidekick. Like you're literally playing as like player, like your partner's sidekick. Like you're being player one's sidekick, and that like kind of sucks. Same thing with Mario Odyssey. Like Mario Odyssey is technically 2-player, but it's not like, oh, one person's Mario, one person's Luigi. No, it's like one person's Mario doing all the platforming and stuff, while player 2 is Cappy, and Cappy's more of like, you know, the sidekick, your player one's sidekick. And I don't think a lot of people like that. Whereas with Mario Wonder, you can get 4 players on it, not just 2, but every player has the same like amount of like they can interact with the level just as much as player 1 can. So with that, not only do I think Mario Wonder is gonna win, but it's also my vote. All right, best fighting. For the best game designed primarily around head-to-head combat, and our nominees are God of Rock, Mortal Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl 2, Pocket Bravery, and Street Fighter 6. Now, haven't played any of these games, but I mean, if I had to choose one just based off of like popularity, probably Street Fighter. I would say like this award's probably gonna be between Mortal Kombat 1 and Street Fighter 6. Like I feel like those are like just like the two like obvious choices. And like if I had to predict, in like I'm gonna vote for Street Fighter 6, but if I also had to predict, I'm also gonna say Street Fighter 6, just because I feel like that game is like, I feel like Street Fighter 6 is a little bit more popular than Mortal Kombat. Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl 2 is like, I heard it's good, but I don't think it's like better than like a Street Fighter 6 or Mortal Kombat 1. I've never heard of God of Rock or Pocket Bravery, so I feel like I'm gonna rule those two out just because I don't really know those games, and like those games aren't really as popular. It's cool that they got nominees, but like at the end of the day, like the games that are most likely to win these categories are the games that are like most popular and most favorable among like the general audience. And like it's just those two games I haven't really heard of, and like I doubt they're more popular than Mortal Kombat 1 or Street Fighter 6. So with that being said, my vote and my prediction for best fighting is Street Fighter 6. Best RPG. For the best game designed with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. And our choices are Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Seas of Stars, and Starfield. I haven't played any of these games. I haven't played any of these games. I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3. Haven't played Final Fantasy, haven't played Lies of P, none of these. I haven't played any of these, so if I had to choose one, it's probably going to be Baldur's Gate 3. Because I heard Baldur's Gate 3 like revolutionized like RPGs and like what an RPG game should be. So I just feel like I'm not going to vote for anything, but I think my prediction here goes to Baldur's Gate 3. I have a strong urge, a strong feeling that Baldur's Gate 3 is taking this one home. Best action adventure. For the best action adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. So these are so we're getting to those categories that are like you have like all the big hitter games. So we have Alan Wake 2, we have Marvel Spider-Man 2, we have Resident Evil 4, we have Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and we have The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now, as far as my vote goes, I can't vote for Alan Wake 2, nor Resident Evil 4, nor Jedi Survivor because I haven't played those 3 games. So with that being said, my vote's going to go down to Spider-Man 2 and Tears of the Kingdom. Now, Spider-Man 2 and Tears of the Kingdom are my 2 favorite games of the year. Like, I would say, like, Legend of Zelda is probably, like, my #1 favorite game of the year, and then Marvel Spider-Man is, like, a close #2. Now, with that being said, my vote goes to Tears of the Kingdom because it's obviously my favorite game of this year, so obviously it's going to go to Tears of the Kingdom. But I'll elaborate. So, the award should go to the best action-adventure game, right? That, like, combines combat with traversal and puzzle solving. Now, let me really dive into this like description here. So combining combat. So when we're talking about combat, I think we can all agree that Marvel Spider-Man 2 has more intricate, more complex, better combat mechanics. Because like not only is the Marvel Spider-Man 2 combat a lot more like flashy than Zelda. Like obviously you have like finishers, you have like webs, you can like yank people around, you can web them up. Like if like Marvel Spider-Man 2 without a doubt has just more complex, more intricate, more fleshed out, more flashy, just in general more fun combat, just because with like all the moves that you can perform and such. But with Tears of the Kingdom has good combat, but I feel like Marvel Spider-Man 2 just wins when it comes to combat. But with the other two like game design features that we're factoring in, like traversal and puzzle solving, I think like again, traversal, like here's the thing, right? Marvel Spider-Man 2 beats Zelda when it comes to combat and traversal. But I think what really kills Spider-Man here is puzzle solving. Because when it comes to puzzle solving, like that screams Zelda here. Like when you think of these 5 games and puzzle solving, Zelda's gonna be the first one that fucking pops up, because like there's puzzles everywhere in Zelda, and the puzzles in Tears of the Kingdom are phenomenally designed. And the reason why they're so good, the reason why they're so like amazing and just fun to play, is just because when it comes to puzzles in Tears of the Kingdom, there's always there's one way that they design the puzzle to be done by the player. Like there's one way where it's like, okay, like we're gonna give you these tools and give you these things, and this is like the intended way we want you to do it. But Nintendo is also like, hey, if you can find another way to do this puzzle, go crazy, you know? And that's the beauty of Tears of the Kingdom. There's always one like kind of definitive answer, but just because it's the definitive answer doesn't mean it's the only answer. There's like a million different ways to solve all the puzzles in Tears of the Kingdom, and it all comes down to your creativity and just your knowledge and just what you have in your inventory. And that's just the beauty of it all. It's creativity. The puzzles in Tears of the Kingdom allow for creativity, where the puzzles in Spider-Man, it's like there's no creativity to the Spider-Man puzzles. It's like you very much have to follow like a set path and do specific moves and follow specific instructions to solve the puzzles in that game. Whereas in Tears of the Kingdom, not only do you have to be much more creative, but not only do you get to be much more creative, but all the puzzles in that game just feel a lot more fleshed out. Whereas in Spider-Man, like the puzzles are like, okay, like you pull this web here and then you pull this door open and then like you win. Like they're not like really like puzzles. Like you're just doing specific moves. Like maybe it may take you like a little bit to find like the specific location to do something, but it's just like when it comes to which game has better puzzle solving, it's for sure Tears of the Kingdom. Just because with the runes like the Ultra Hand and the Recall and the Ascend and the Fuse, like allowing for so much creativity in the game, and because there's so much creativity, it allows for just so much. It allows for so much potential. You have so much at your disposal to work with. Like to solve a puzzle, you could do it the intended way, or you could use a rocket to fly over the puzzle, or you could fucking build a plane and fly over the puzzle, or like there's some, I don't know. Tears of the Kingdom is just, when it comes to puzzle solving, Tears of the Kingdom just absolutely drills just Spider-Man into the water. And then when it comes to traversal, like Tears of the Kingdom doesn't even have bad traversal either. Like with the Ultra Hand, you could just build a plane, you could build a helicopter, you could build a car, you could build a motorcycle. Like it's just, you could build a hover bike. It's, dude, it's the traversal in Tears of the Kingdom is not even that bad either. And then, I mean, the combat in Tears of the Kingdom, while it's not nearly as complex as the combat in Spider-Man 2, I just like the raw feeling of Tears of the Kingdom's combat, because it very much is just like raw combat gameplay, where it's like you have a sword that you could swing and do damage, and you have a shield that could block, and you also have a dodge, and that's it. It's not complex. It's just very raw, like just fighting, and you have a bow too. But I don't know. I like Tears of the Kingdom's combat, even though I do think Spider-Man 2's combat is a more it's more fleshed out. But I also think Tears of the Kingdom's combat also makes it so that you have to be strategical, because the thing with Spider-Man is like, because you're Spider-Man, you have so much mobility and so many tools that it's like you could kind of you could kind of just throw attacks without thinking about it much and still win fights. Where it feels like in Tears of the Kingdom, like you have to really think about like what is your strategical like play, you know? Like, are you gonna go into this fight just like head on and just kind of take on all the enemies, or are you gonna throw a bomb in first so that all the enemies kind of get struck by the bomb, like they get like confused at first, and then you can run up behind them and do some extra damage. Like there's so much strategy that goes into Tears of the Kingdom's combat that I feel like Marvel's Spider-Man 2 doesn't really include. And because of that, like I don't know. I just think at the end of the day, while I do think Marvel's Spider-Man 2 beats Zelda when it comes to combat and traversal, I just think because Zelda's puzzle solving is so fun to perform. It's so fun to like it's so fun to just like solve a puzzle the way it wasn't intended, because it actually fucking makes you feel smart. Like that's the thing, right? With like there's no other puzzle game that makes me feel as smart as like a Zelda game, because the thing with Zelda is like, while there is like one definitive way to do a puzzle, I feel like 90% of the time you're gonna like solve a puzzle the way it wasn't intended, and that makes it feel all the better, because it legitimately makes it feel like you solved that problem on your own, not because like the solution to the problem was curated by the game and all you had to do was put the pieces together, but because you genuinely looked at the problem, you took your resources, built something upon your resources, and solved the puzzle your own way. Because of that, like, it makes you feel like you're the smartest motherfucker in the whole world. It's insane how fun and how intricate and how fleshed out the puzzle solving in Tears of the Kingdom is. But with that being said, I mean, my vote goes to Tears of the Kingdom, and I also think like Tears of the Kingdom is gonna win this. I wouldn't be surprised if RE4 wins this and Alan Wake 2, but my prediction is gonna go to Tears of the Kingdom because I mean I love Tears of the Kingdom. It's an incredible game. Best action game. For the best game in the action genre focused primarily on combat, and our nominees are Armored Core, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and Remnant 2. The only game I've played here is Hi-Fi Rush, so my vote by default goes to Hi-Fi Rush. But I also think the action in Hi-Fi Rush is very well done. I love the action. I love the combat in Hi-Fi Rush. I think the combat in Hi-Fi Rush is very fleshed out. There are a lot of moves you can perform, a lot of moves you can unlock. I love like the duo moves that you could perform, where it's like you can get like Peppermint to help you out. You can get Corsica to help you out. His name's Macaron, right? I think his name is Macaron. You can get Macaron to help you out. And like also like the fact that like all your moves are like combined, like not combined, that's the wrong word, synchronized. Yeah, synchronized with like the music just makes it like all the better, because like it really makes it feel like you have to really like be in tone with the beat of the music. And when you're like engaging that much into the game, you also engage into the combat of the game, and like that by itself just makes it makes it so much better. Because like when you're 100% locked into a game, I don't know, like it's just it's fun, like it's just fun. Like I know I keep saying fun, and like fun is like a very like weak way to like describe something. Like when someone says like, oh, why should I do this? Oh, it's fun. Like that's a very weak way to like describe something. But like I don't really know how else to describe it. Like it's just fun. Like having to like engage yourself to be synchronized with the beat. It's like it's very fun. And like, I think what makes it very fun is like the game doesn't punish you for being off beat. It doesn't. But if you are on beat, like you get like attack boost, and like not only do you get attack boost, but it just feels good. Like it just feels good to be on beat and like in tune with the music. It's very fun that way. So my vote's gonna go to Hi-Fi Rush. I really think it could go to any game. I'm also gonna predict Hi-Fi Rush here, but I mean I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to like an Armored Core or like a Ghost Runner 2 or something like that. But I mean both my prediction and my votes going to Hi-Fi Rush. Now I'm not even gonna like vote or predict on this one because I mean I don't have a VR headset and I don't play AR games. I mean I guess I'll predict Resident Evil 8, just because I feel like that's just gonna be the most popular among players. I feel like that's just gonna be the most voted. That's just the most popular among players, so that's my vote. Not my vote, my prediction. I'm not voting on this category. I don't really have a say. I don't have a VR headset, nor do I play AR games. Again, I don't play mobile games. I mean, if I had to, honestly, like if I had to like predict, probably Final Fantasy Ever Crisis. I mean, probably that's probably gonna be the winner. But I also wouldn't be surprised if Hello Kitty wins, because I mean, just look at that game cover. That shit looks crazy. I don't really play indie games, so again, I can't really vote on this one. If I really had to predict, I'm gonna say Pizza Tower, because I remember when Pizza Tower came out, like a lot of people were talking about Pizza Tower. Like Pizza Tower was getting gassed up to the fucking moon. So if I had to predict, it's gonna be Pizza Tower, but again, I'm not gonna vote because I don't really play indie games that much. Again, I have not played any of these games. I don't play indies. I just really don't. Not because I don't like them, but just because like I don't know. I don't know which indies are like worth it or not, and I don't take the time to find out which ones are good. I kind of like just stick to like AAA just like games, games that I'm familiar with, which is probably a bad thing, but it is what it is. Best community support. Recognizing the game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates / patches. And we have Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy. That's 15, right? 15 or 14? 15/14. We'll go with that. And No Man's Sky. I know a lot of people are gonna gas up Final Fantasy for this one, just because I heard Final Fantasy always gets like support all the time. But I think I'm gonna go with Cyberpunk here, just because like I feel like the revamp that's like I feel like on CD Projekt Red didn't have to give us a Cyberpunk 2.0. I mean, like, it would have been, like, I'm glad we have it, but they didn't have to give it to us, right? Like, they could have just said Cyberpunk 2077 was a flop, and we're just gonna make our next game and just, you know, kind of like forget that game ever exists. But no, they took the time to, you know, fix the game, make it right, make it, you know, worth the price tag, all for free too. At least I think it was for free. I'm pretty sure it was for free. So I think that just shows like incredible community support. Like the description of this is recognizing the game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates / patches. And I mean, there were plenty of patches for Cyberpunk 2077. The whole 2.0 update / patch was like a huge overhaul of the game. It's just like in general, like I feel like the game with best community support, I feel like has to go to Cyberpunk 2077. I wouldn't be surprised if Final Fantasy wins, but I think my vote is gonna go to Cyberpunk 2077. Honestly, I think my prediction is going to go to Cyberpunk 2. Yeah, my predictions are going to go to Cyberpunk here. Best Ongoing, awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. And our nominees are Apex Legends, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy, Fortnite, and Genshin Mid-Pack. There's only one game I play here, and it's Fortnite. But let me tell you why Fortnite fucking wins this category, alright? Name me one game that has stayed relevant among like not even just people who like the game in general, but just like the general just like gaming audience. Like, because like you don't have to like Fortnite. Like honestly, bro, like, okay, listen, people will argue that Fortnite fell off hella, like hella fell off since 2018, but you gotta understand, right? The size of Fortnite, like peak Fortnite in 2018, is incomprehensible. Everyone was fucking playing that game. Like no game, right? Like your game would have to be fucking insane to keep that type of player base going for years and years and years and years and years. And Fortnite will never reach that point again. But like you gotta understand, like even if it's never gonna reach that peak that it once was at, Fortnite is still to this day one of the most popular, if not the most popular and most played game of all fucking time. Everyone fucking knows Fortnite. Everyone knows Fortnite. It is like, if you go around like on the street and ask someone, do you know what Genshin Impact is? Like I feel like some people would say like yes, but I feel like you're gonna get some no's here and there too. Same thing with like Final Fantasy 15. Same thing with like Apex Legends or something like that. Not even that, but like if you ask someone, have you played this game? Like have you played Genshin Impact? You're probably gonna get like a good amount of no's. Same thing with like Apex Legends or like Final Fantasy. But fucking everyone has played Fortnite. Everyone has played Fortnite. Everyone knows Fortnite, everyone's played Fortnite, and the reason why everyone knows Fortnite and everyone plays fucking Fortnite is because the game gets constant updates, constant skins, they're always doing collabs, new seasons, battle passes. The cosmetics in the game are like the best cosmetics I've ever seen in any video game. Like the way to design the cosmetics are insane. Not only that, but just the collabs that they do with the cosmetics. Like for example, the Invincible collabs. Like the Invincible skins, I absolutely love them. I've been maining them for the past couple of days. Bro, like when it just comes to which game has just stayed relevant and just stayed on top as far as player count, as far as relevancy, it's got to be Fortnite. And like, because the thing about it is like Fortnite news gets around no matter what like gaming like audience you're in, right? Whereas with like games like Genshin Impact, with games like Final Fantasy like 14, 15, whatever, with games like Apex Legends, it's like you're really going to find out news if you search for it. Where it feels like with Fortnite, it's like it doesn't matter what gaming community you're in or what area of gaming you're involved in, you're always gonna hear like, oh, Fortnite's getting this event, oh, Fortnite's doing this collab, oh, Fortnite's doing this, Fortnite's doing that and that and that and that, new chapter, new season, new skins, do blah 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 blah. Like you're always gonna find Fortnite news somewhere, no matter what area of gaming you associate yourself with. Whereas it feels like if you want to hear shit like news about Genshin Impact, if you want to hear news about Apex Legends or Cyberpunk or Final Fantasy, you have to directly be involved and engage within those communities to find that type of news. Like I just feel like those communities are very like enclosed to themselves, where it feels like Fortnite, like everyone knows what's going on with Fortnite. Everyone knows when everyone fucking knows Eminem is dropping this Saturday. Everyone knows that OG season's out. Dude, when it just comes to which game has evolved the player experience over time, like Fortnite Creative 2.0, like Fortnite gave us Creative 2.0 this year. That evolved the player experience dramatically, drastically.
Like, that just opened up so many opportunities for map creators and map builders to just do whatever the fuck they want in that game. Genshin Impact, like, sure, like, maybe it gives updates and patches, but can I fucking build my own worlds in Genshin Impact? Can I do that? No. Can I build my own worlds in Final Fantasy, Apex Legends, Cyberpunk? Can I? No, I fucking can't. I can't. You get, like, dude, I'm not even that big of a fan of Fortnite. Like, I play it every now and then, but I'm not, like, crazy about the game. But, like, I know for a fact, like, this has got to win ongoing game. It's got to. It stayed on top. Even if it's not ever going to reach that 2018 peak that it once was at, it's still gonna, dude, even if it never reaches that 2018 peak, it's still the most popular. Like, it's still one of the most popular games of all time to this day when it just comes to player count. Millions of players play Fortnite every single day. Fortnite fucking peaked not only last season in player count, but this season too with the Fortnite season. Like, or the Fortnite OG season. It's just, bro, it's gotta be Fortnite. It has to. Like, there's no way it's not Fortnite. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not that big of a fan of Fortnite, but, like, I will throw Fortnite a fucking bone here. It's gotta win. Like, Fortnite has gotta win best ongoing. There's no way it doesn't. No way it doesn't. My vote goes to Fortnite. My prediction goes to Fortnite. Let's move on. Games for Impact. A thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. I don't play these types of games. I haven't played any of these games. I don't really play these types of games. I mean, I don't really play thought-provoking games. I play games to get away from the thoughts. Alright, next category. Innovation in accessibility. Recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. And our nominees are Diablo 4, Forza Motorsport, Hi-Fi Rush, Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, and Street Fighter 6. I don't really know. I mean, my vote's going to, I don't know. The thing about this is, like, the only way to see if a game has good accessibility is if you go into, like, the settings yourself and see what kind of options the game offers in order to cater to wider audiences. And I just don't really do that. Like, when I'm playing a game, like, I like to keep all the settings by default because it's like the way I interpret it is like all the default settings are the settings that the developers and this team wants you to play as. Like, these are the settings they want you to play the game at, right? So, like, I usually always keep all the options by default because it's like, in my mind, it's like, okay, obviously the developers want me to have the best time I possibly can in this game. Like, why would they want to make their game worse? And these are the default settings, which means these are the settings that, you know, they want me to play at, so I can have the best experience. So I don't really tamper with the settings all that much. Therefore, I don't really know a lot about accessibility in any of these games. I'm personally gonna go for Spider-Man 2, but I mean, it could be any one of these games. I wouldn't be surprised if it's. I guess my prediction is Street Fighter 6. My vote is Spider-Man 2 because I'm not gonna vote for a game I haven't played. So, vote for Spider-Man 2, prediction Street Fighter 6. Best performance awarded to an individual for voice-over acting, motion, and or performance capture. Ben Starr for Final Fantasy 16, Cameron Monaghan, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, for Jedi Survivor, Idris Elba for Cyberpunk, Melanie Liburd for Alan Wake 2, Neil Newbon for Baldur's Gate 3, and Yuri Lowenthal for Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Now, personally, I've only played one game here, and it's Spider-Man 2. So I want to pick Yuri. I honestly think Yuri does a fantastic job on Spider-Man 2. Like, genuinely. I think, especially when he has the symbiote, like, the voice range that he has is it's crazy. He's so talented. He's so talented. He plays an excellent Peter Parker. The way he delivers some of his lines is just like chef's kiss. It's just absolutely amazing. He's just really good. He played a really good Peter Parker. I think when he had the symbiote, he played the symbiote very, very well. And it's like, he did a great job at like building up towards the aggressiveness of the symbiote. Because it's like, when he first got the symbiote, like, he's still like kind of Peter Parker, but it's like he's slowly building up aggression, not only in just what he's saying, but just in the tone of his voice and how he says it. I think Yuri Lowenthal does a fantastic job at delivering the lines and really building up to like peak Peter symbiote. So my vote's Yuri Lowenthal. I mean, it could really be any one of these. It could be any one of these actors or actresses, but my vote and my prediction too is gonna go to Yuri. I think Yuri does a great job on Spider-Man 2, and I hope he wins. I hope he wins. I think he's gonna win.
I think he's gonna win. Best audio design, recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. Now, I know a lot of people are probably gonna vote Hi-Fi Rush solely because of the way the combat and like the game is designed around the music and the audio and such, but I feel like when it comes to deciding which game has best in-game audio, I feel like that's gotta go to like a game like Resident Evil 4 or Alan Wake 2, because the thing with Hi-Fi Rush is like, when I think about a game that has really good audio design, it's like, it's not only a game that like really immerses you into the experience via audio, but it's like, it's a game that like requires audio to really get the full experience and to really play the game for what it's worth. It feels like I feel like I could play Hi-Fi Rush like with my TV muted, or with my like not even with a headset on, and I can still enjoy. Like I could turn on the visual like beater like at the bottom of the screen, and then I could just synchronize to the beat that way, so I don't have to listen to the music, and then I could just play the game without having to hear any of the audio. Whereas with a game with like Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, Resident Evil 4, those are games that are like, you're not getting the full experience unless you're playing like with a headset with surround sound, because like these games heavily utilize audio not only for the immersiveness and the engagement of the game, but also for the gameplay as well. Like there are probably I haven't played these games, but I'm willing to bet there are some gameplay elements in these games that utilize audio so that the player has to like listen, and if they hear like a specific sound it means this, and if they hear a specific sound it means that, you know? I feel like it's got to go to one of those games. Unfortunately I haven't played any of those games, so I don't really know where my vote is going, nor my prediction. But I think my vote is gonna go, and my prediction too is gonna go to Alan Wake 2, because Alan Wake 2 is getting heavily praised right now, and I don't know, like I have a gut feeling it's gonna win this one. Next category we have is best score and music, for outstanding music inclusive of score, original song, and / or licensed soundtrack. And our nominees are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Hi-Fi Rush, and Tears of the Kingdom. Now, unfortunately, I'm gonna rule out Tears of the Kingdom. As much as I love, like, I adore this OST. I really, really do. But I feel like when it comes to all these other games, I feel like all these other games have more like variety in their soundtracks, whereas it feels like 99% of Tears of the Kingdom soundtrack is very much just like ambient music. Very like relaxing, very calming music. Obviously you're gonna have like some tracks here and there, like you have like the battle track, you have the final boss track. Dude, the Ganondorf final boss track is so good, especially phase 2. It's so good. But I mean, as much as I love Tears of the Kingdom soundtrack, I don't think it's gonna be Tears of the Kingdom, solely because it just doesn't have that much variety. And while I love the ambient music, I don't think it's gonna win Game of the Year, especially since I heard like Final Fantasy 16 I heard has an excellent soundtrack. And honestly, speaking of which, I might go with Final Fantasy 16. I was kind of debating on whether I should vote Hi-Fi Rush or Final Fantasy 16, but while I do love Hi-Fi Rush's music and score and all, I have heard a lot of good things about the Final Fantasy score and soundtrack. So my vote's going to go to Hi-Fi Rush because I haven't played Final Fantasy 16. My vote's going to Hi-Fi Rush, but my prediction is Final Fantasy 16. I doubt Alan Wake 2 has like a score that like, oh my god, like I need, guys, like I just played Alan Wake 2, and like that one song when I was fighting that one zombie, I need to get the link. Where's the sauce? Like I don't think anyone said that. And same, I don't know, I don't really know about Baldur's Gate. Maybe Baldur's Gate has like really good music, but my prediction is going to Final Fantasy, and my vote goes to Hi-Fi Rush. Alright, so I thought about it some more, and fuck Final Fantasy. I think Hi-Fi Rush has like the best fucking soundtrack. I after I placed the vote, I really thought about it for a second. Like, do I like what songs, like what were like peak songs in Hi-Fi Rush? And I was like, you know what, this OST fucking bangs, because like it's so good. It's so, you know what, I changed my prediction. My prediction is Hi-Fi Rush. Fuck Final Fantasy. It could go die in a hole. Hi-Fi Rush to speak. Best art direction for outstanding creative and / or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. Our nominees are Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P, Mario Bros. Wonder, and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now, when it comes to art direction, I think we're gonna rule out Alan Wake 2 and Lies of P, only because those games look amazing, right? But visuals isn't the same as art direction, and I feel like those games look very, very realistic, but their art direction is very bland because they go for a more realistic, a more dark tone. And I feel like art is gonna appeal more if it's like very bright and colorful, kind of like Hi-Fi Rush, kind of like Mario Wonder. And these games, while they look fantastic, no one's like debating whether or not they don't look good or not. Like, obviously these games look fantastic. The Alan Wake 2 looks amazing. I've seen gameplay of Alan Wake 2. It looks amazing. Same thing with Lies of P. But because those games kind of take a more realistic approach to their tone and just their art style in general, I feel like I can't really vote for them because the description here is creative, just creative and technical achievement in artistic design and animation. And I feel like while yes, these games look amazing, they're like, the art style is not very creative. It's very realistic, yes, and it looks amazing. It looks super realistic. But as far as creativity goes, being realistic isn't creative. Like, that's literally the opposite. Like, being creative is like coming up with something in like your brain. Like, you brainstorm something in your mind and then you apply it. A realistic approach to your art direction isn't creative. You're just trying to make a game look as realistic as possible. That's not very creative. So because of that, I'm gonna rule out Alan Wake 2 and Lies of P. As much as I love the way Tears of the Kingdom looks, because like honestly, like, I'm surprised that game even fucking runs on the Switch. Even though it takes the Switch like everything in its power to keep that game running at a solid 30 FPS. Like, dude, my Switch is like a fucking like, I know this joke is overused, but it's legitimately a fucking airplane jet when I'm playing this game, especially in handheld mode. Like, if I'm not on max volume in handheld mode, that fan is gonna be so fucking, like, that fan like overtakes the actual volume of the game. That's how fucking powerful it is. But anyway, while I love the way Tears of the Kingdom looks, I wouldn't necessarily say like it's super creative, only because it's realistic with cell shading. And while it is like a little bit more creative than like maybe Alan Wake's or like Lies of P arts direction, it's the game. First of all, it looks very much like Breath of the Wild, so that by itself already kind of kills its creativity, because while it looks fantastic, it's still like, it doesn't really like change anything about its art style. Apart from Breath of the Wild, I think the game is a little bit more saturated than Breath of the Wild, but other than that, it doesn't really change its art style. Like, it looks exactly the same as Breath of the Wild. Like, if I took a screenshot from Breath of the Wild without the HUD, and I took a screenshot from Tears of the Kingdom without the HUD, you probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference between which game I'm playing. So with that being said, while I do love the way Tears of the Kingdom looks, I think the game looks fantastic. As far as like creative art direction, I don't think it's beating Mario Wonder or Hi-Fi Rush. So with that being said, we have two more nominees here to vote on, and it's Mario Wonder and it's Hi-Fi Rush, and finally two games that I fucking played. So I do think Hi-Fi Rush takes this one, only because while I love the way Mario Wonder looks, I love the way like they kind of got rid of like the super like modern new Super Mario Bros. Style, and kind of gave it like a more comic book like a style to it. Like, it's not super, like, Mario Wonder isn't super comic booky, but like you could tell like it's very creative with the way it like presents itself, like with the way the characters look in game, the way the actual game looks too, and the backgrounds and the enemies and the blocks and the terrain and such. It looks very nice, very colorful, saturated, all those words. But I think Hi-Fi Rush takes this one just because, like, I love the cell shading Hi-Fi Rush has. Hi-Fi Rush looks amazing too. Like, the game is so smooth. A lot of the animations are smooth as fuck. The colors in this game are so vibrant, so fucking colorful. I think Hi-Fi Rush also just takes this one just because it's in 3D, and like a 3D game allows for so much more like area of like creativity. Like, the level of creativity that you can get in a 2D game is like very limited because you're only working with two directions and with a flat screen, whereas with a 3D game you're working obviously with a three-dimensional perspective. So like there's so much more like potential and creativity in the art style of a 3D game than in the art style of a 2D game, because in a 2D game you're looking at like a flat plain screen and you can only go left or right, whereas with a 3D game you're in a 3D dimensional playing field, and it just allows for a lot of creativity, you know what I mean? Like, just like naturally, like not even in just art direction but just in anything. A 3D game allows for a lot more creativity and just a lot more than a 2D game would. So with that being said, and I know, like, I don't know, like, I just feel like when it comes to like which game appeals more to me, I feel like it's Hi-Fi Rush, because Hi-Fi Rush, like, the 3D allows for much more creativity in like the way the characters look and the way the characters move. And not only that, but I think the colors in Hi-Fi Rush are so saturated, especially in combat. Like, when you're in combat, dude, and like you're swinging at enemies, like there will be like pop-up text that pops up like while you're like hitting the enemies, and it's so vibrant, so colorful, so fun. It's amazing. So my vote, not only my vote, but my prediction goes to Hi-Fi Rush. Best narrative for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. Our nominees are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy 16, and Spider-Man 2. I mean, when it comes to it's pretty much like this vote is pretty much like story, right? Like which game has the best story, and I feel like I don't know, like this is definitely a category where it's like you gotta play the games. Like you cannot just vote on this category. I mean, you could vote in this category if you've seen playthroughs of all these games. Like that's like you could definitely do that. Other than that, it's kind of like this is a category where it's like if you haven't played the game or watched playthroughs for the game, it's like you can't really vote on this. And I've only played one of these games, which is Spider-Man 2. I think Spider-Man 2's story is like excellent, like fucking phenomenal. I love the story in that game. I think it's better than Spider-Man 1's story, and I also think it's better than Spider-Man Miles Morales' story. I think it's the best Spider-Man Insomniac story so far. I haven't seen playthroughs, nor have I played these other 4 games, so I can't even like try and justify like a vote or like a prediction for any of the other 4 games because like I just don't know the story for those 4 games. I don't, so I feel like I'm stuck to just Spider-Man 2, which I'm not mad about. I like the Spider-Man 2 story. I'm not against voting for it. I just don't know what the story is looking like for all these other games. So I feel like this is really the only one I could go for. Alright, best game direction, awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation and game direction and design. Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Mario Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Best game direction, I think we could rule out Marvel Spider-Man 2 because while I love Marvel Spider-Man 2 and its gameplay and its story, it doesn't really innovate off of, like, it doesn't really innovate that much away from Spider-Man 1 and Miles Morales because, like, while yes, Spider-Man 2 does have new mechanics and new features that the first 2 Spider-Man games don't, it very much is like very safe. Like it feels like there's no like severe game-changing mechanics that were introduced in Spider-Man 2. Like you have web wings, right? And you have like the blue like lightning that Miles has now, and you have the symbiote, and you also have like the claws on the back of Peter, but those aren't really like game-changing mechanics. It's not like Wolf. Like this is an entirely new game because of this new mechanic. It's like it doesn't really change the game in any like drastic way. It definitely does offer a little bit of spice and a little bit of quality of life improvements when it comes to like swinging and combat and variety and such. But when it comes to really innovating, I feel like Spider-Man 2 doesn't really do that. It's very, very safe. It plays it very safe, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's just like I wouldn't necessarily say the game innovated. It definitely added new mechanics to make the game maybe feel better, make the game feel fresh, make the game not feel like the same as the other 2 Spider-Man games. But I wouldn't say it innovated, at least not as much as like all these other games have innovated. I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3, nor have I seen any gameplay, but I heard that this game like changed JRPGs and RPGs and role-playing games like forever. I heard this is like a D&D game, like a Dungeons and Dragons game, and I heard like it changed that whole like genre forever. So I think just based off of that, this is a pretty big contender. Alan Wake 2, I don't know. I don't know about Alan Wake 2. I wouldn't rule it out, but I don't know. I don't know about Alan Wake 2. I haven't played the game, haven't really seen any playthroughs, so wouldn't really know. Mario Wonder innovates exceptionally. Mario Wonder innovates so much off of the new Super Mario Bros. Because you got to remember the last 2D Mario game that we had was New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, and like it innovated off of that so much because it really felt like, because like for the past like 5-6 2D Mario games, right, like during like the new series, right, like the New Super Mario Bros. Series, like it really felt like every game was just like the same game, like literally just like copy and paste. This game innovates so much off of the New Super Mario Bros. Series, not only like visually, but just in its gameplay too, like with the Wonder Seed and with the badges and with the multiplayer and the standees. And like just like the way you navigate the world, because like it kind of has like that 3D world navigation where it has linear parts here and there, but there are also some times where you could like openly navigate a land, and there are like secrets to find. You can find like secret treasures, secret courses. You can unlock badges along your way, and with those badges, it can make some levels easier. It can make some levels more difficult. It can help you out, like make some, I don't know. It's so good. It's like it innovates exceptionally off of New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Tears of the Kingdom also innovates like a lot. It innovates a lot, but I think Mario Wonder innovates a little bit better, because the thing with Tears of the Kingdom, while I love Tears of the Kingdom, it very much is Breath of the Wild, but like better. And the thing about that is it's better than Breath of the Wild, but it very much is Breath of the Wild in the way the game is structured and like the core of the game. Like, go to these 4 like areas, like you're going to the same 4 areas: the Zora area, the Goron area, the Gerudo area, and the Rito area. There's technically 2 more dungeons in the game, but they're like mini dungeons. They don't really count as like full dungeons, but and then like along the way you collect shrines, and the shrines you have to complete the puzzles, and the puzzles you get lights of blessings, and then with 4 lights of blessings you can either get a heart or a stamina vessel. And like, while I love like that gameplay loop is fine, but as far as as far as like how innovative it is, like how innovative that whole gameplay loop is, it's like the exact same as Breath of the Wild. And while it's not bad, it definitely is good. I like the gameplay loop. It's very fun. It's not innovative. And I think if we're going off of which game out of this whole list innovates the most off of its game direction and its game design, it's Mario Wonder. It's Mario Wonder. The game completely overhauled like what 2D Mario is supposed to be. And like, it feels like from here on out, every 2D it set the new bar, the new standard for 2D Mario. And it's not like Tears of the Kingdom didn't set a new standard, because like I said, Tears of the Kingdom is a phenomenal game. But again, as far as innovating in game direction and design, I feel like that's Mario Wonder, because in Mario Wonder you collect flower seeds. Is that what? No, not flower seeds. My bad. Wonder seeds. You get wonder flowers in the game that drastically change how the level is played. You like there's so many, like there's open terrains where you can find levels and courses and such, like completely separate from the new Super Mario Bros. Series. And while Tears of the Kingdom does improve upon Breath of the Wild drastically in Tears of the Kingdom, it doesn't necessarily innovate as much as Mario Bros. Does, because like I said, like you're still doing shrines, you're still going to the dungeons, it's still like the same gameplay loop, which again is not bad, but as far as innovation is concerned, Mario Wonder takes the lead on this one. So my vote and my prediction goes to Mario Wonder here. All right, and now we got the award everyone is waiting for, everyone is anticipating: Game of the Year, recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. And the nominees are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Now, I feel like for Game of the Year, I cannot vote for any game I haven't played, nor can I predict. So, with that being said, Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, and RE4 are just ruled out, only because, not because I don't like the games, not because I'm questioning their quality, but only because I have not played those games. And I do not know what those games are. I do not know if those games are better than any of the other games that I've played on this list. And I'm not going to assume whether they're bad or good or any of that, because I don't want to get the wrong assumption and then I'm wrong and then I'm going to die. So, we're going to rule those out. Now, with that being said, we have 3 nominees to work with here: Spider-Man 2, Mario Wonder, and Tears of the Kingdom. And, I mean, I am going to rule out Spider-Man 2 because, again, while I love Spider-Man 2, while I love the game, I love the story, I love the combat, the traversal, the swinging, everything, like the mechanics, the side content, all of that, it's very, not only is it a short game, but it's very safe. Like, it's a very safe sequel. It doesn't really do anything to drastically change like the way you play the game or the way you view the game. Like, there are new mechanics, yes, like the web wings and such, and like the Miles new blue lightning ability and the symbiote, but like genuinely, like it is still like core gameplay wise, like core game wise, it is still very, very similar to like Spider-Man 1 or Spider-Man Miles Morales. It does not innovate very much. Now, with that being said, we have 2 nominees to work with, and it's Mario Wonder and Tears of the Kingdom. And you know, while I love both of these games, I love Mario Wonder and I love the charm it brings with it, and I love the saturated colors and the art style and the visuals and the gameplay and the Wonder Flower and the worlds. It's Tears of the Kingdom is such a crazy game. It's so crazy to me how a game like Tears of the Kingdom like even fucking exists. Because the thing with Mario Wonder, I think Mario Wonder is not going to win Game of the Year just based off of it's a smaller scale game. While I love Mario Wonder, while I love that 2D platformer, at the end of the day, it is 2D and it is a smaller scale game. It's not like a super big budget like Mario game, like Mario Odyssey or something like that. Like it's a smaller scale 2D Mario game. It's not as ambitious, and I think just because of that, just because its ambition isn't as big as like a typical 3D game like Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, RE4, Tears of the Kingdom, I think just because of that, it's not winning Game of the Year. And I'm honestly surprised it got nominated. I'm glad it did, but I'm glad it got recognized as like a really good game that came out this year. But I think just because it's not that big of a, I think just because it isn't as big as a scale as the other games, and I think just because it's not as ambitious as the other games, it's not going to win Game of the Year. Now, with that being said, there's only one game left, and it's Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom is just, when I think of a game that it delivers the absolute best across all creative and technical fields, that's Tears of the Kingdom. The open world. So the open world is jam-packed with things to do, enemies to fight, items to collect, armor to collect, weapons to collect, just side missions to do, Koroks to save, shrines to complete with puzzles inside of them, side characters to do side quests on, side adventures, because there's side adventures in this game now, memories to find, just secret chests that you could find. Like, dude, it's so crazy. And like, it's not even just like a surface map too, it's got depths too. So like under the surface map, like the game basically took Breath of the Wild's map and like doubled it with the depths on the bottom. With like, while the depths was a little bit kind of annoying to navigate, it was still super fun. Like you could find like a bunch of shit down there. And like the Sky Islands too, while the Sky Islands were a bit of a disappointment, I love the implementation of them. They're so fucking, dude, I love this game. I love this game. The open world, massive, tons of shit to do. The game takes like 80 hours to beat and 500 hours to 100%. You will never run out of things to do in Tears of the Kingdom, even though it's a single player game. It's not even a multiplayer game getting updates and shit. It just has that much fucking stuff in the game. It's so like, the game is so expansive. The runes in the game are the reason why the game is so good in the first place, especially like the Ultra Hand and the Fuse and the Recall and the Ascend. They're like godlike abilities. You can literally just take any item. It doesn't have to be magnetic like the Magnesis rune in Breath of the Wild. You can just pick up any item, just place it on anything, in any angle you like, in any direction that you like, on any type of surface or any type of object that you like. You could build anything. You could build airplanes, helicopters, mechs, cars, motorcycles, trucks, torture chambers, just fucking, it's, dude. And then you have Recall, where you could just like manipulate any object in time. You could just recall that specific object in time, which could help drastically with just like platforming and trying to get around the world. I mean, the Ascend, you could just ascend through any terrain that's above you. The Fuse, you could combine any weapon with any object. You can combine a weapon with a weapon. It's so like the amount of creativity that Nintendo allows in Tears of the Kingdom is insane. It's just a huge sandbox. It's a huge playground. And not only that, but the story is amazing too. I mean, for a Nintendo game, the story is amazing. I love the story in Tears of the Kingdom. I think it's fantastic. Probably one of the best, if not the best stories Nintendo has ever like told in any of their games. It's phenomenal. It's fantastic. I love the way the game looks. The combat in the game it's raw, it's fresh. It really feels, you have to be strategical in battle. Like, you can't just run into, unless you're cracked at combat, you can't just run into like an enemy of like six people, like, or like an enemy gang of 6, you know? Like, you can't do that. You have to be more strategical. Like, there's like I don't know, dude. There's so many things to do, so expansive, huge open world, so many items to collect, so many missions to do. The story is outstanding. It's amazing. And Pora. I think that's all I have to say. In all seriousness, though, I mean, when it comes to which game in this whole like nominees list has the most content jam-packed into it, has the most creative freedom jam-packed into it, has the most intricate, satisfying puzzle solving jam-packed into it, has the most collectibles jam-packed into it, has just the most satisfying creative gameplay story, like just, I don't know, it's Tears of the Kingdom. It's Tears of the Kingdom, because it's Alan Wake 2, incredible narrative, right? very linear game, very linear story. Once you complete the main game, you're probably done. I could be wrong on that. That is an assumption, but this is a story-driven game. So I'm guessing after you beat the, like, not only is the game super linear, but once you beat the game, it's over. Baldur's Gate, can't really speak on it because I have no idea what the fuck this game is. Marvel Spider-Man 2, great story, great gameplay, but doesn't necessarily innovate and separate itself from the first couple Spider-Man games that much. It's a very safe sequel. RE4, great gameplay, great visuals and such, linear, and once you beat the story, you're most likely done. Mario Bros, great gameplay. There's not really a story, but it's a Mario game. The game is very short, and it's not like the scale of the game, the scope of it, the ambition of it just isn't that high. Tears of the Kingdom, fantastic story, huge expansive open world to explore. Not only just the surface, but you have the Sky Islands to explore too, and the depths at the bottom of the surface area too. Not only that, but you have runes that you can attach any object to, and I'm talking any object. You grab a wheel from your inventory, you can make a car, a fucking motorcycle, you can make a fucking Godzilla mech, you could do, and you can make, if you could think of it, you can make it. Trust me, there is nothing that's not possible in Tears of the Kingdom. Trust me. I that may seem like a stretch, but I'm being like so dead ass. If you could think of it, you can fucking make it in Tears of the Kingdom. It allows for so much like creative freedom in the game. It doesn't restrict or limit the player in anything. It lets you do pretty much whatever you want. Like the game, like if it works, it works. The game won't tell you no. And that's what makes it so satisfying. It's like you're solving problems. You're solving riddles on your own. Not because the game curated a solution for you that you were supposed to go on, but because you actually did it yourself. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I mean, it's fantastic. It's a fantastic game. I love it. It's been a damn while since I've played it. I want to replay the game again. I'm being so dead ass. I've played this game like 8 times, like from start to finish. At least when it comes to like the story. I have too many hours on this game, and I haven't played it in like a couple months. I want to play through it again. But I mean, yeah, my vote and my prediction is The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. And come December 7th, if it doesn't win, I'm going to fall off the face of the earth.